Welcome to round number 4. Go check out the recap of round number 3. I know my second opponent for the day, for the 4th round. It's another, let's say, kid, plays London System. I managed to do some prep, so not a lot, just check some lines, but yeah, that's about it. So walk into the tournament hall. It's still snowing, but it's very beautiful outside. So enjoy the view, and I'll see you after the game in a second. Guys, quick draw in round number 4. Look, I don't feel well. It's just, you play this 2 rounds a day, and you're not playing against 1500s. You're playing against like serious chess players, 2000 FIDE, and it's hard. Like my brain is just like not working right now. So you'll see a recap. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. It still was a very educational steal. I should have probably, got into some trap that he could have played, but instead he goes for other line. But you'll see everything. See you in a second in the recap. A recap of round number 4 of Freedom Week Open Crown section. I'm 1 out of 3 playing against Nathan Wu with black pieces, and he starts with d4. So 1 hour, it wasn't even 1 hour, like they posted the pairings like 40 minutes or 30 minutes before the game, so I didn't really have time. I was having my lunch, and I saw that he plays London. I was like, all right, I gotta maybe play something that I know best, right? More solid. And in the following position, I play c5, which I haven't played in many years. So c5 was only influenced by the game that I played against Eric Rosen in one of recent Title Tuesdays. He played c5 and then played queen b6. I really hoped for c3, which wasn't played in the game, unfortunately. But yeah, unfortunately, yes, c5, and he played knight c3, and here I was like, I started thinking. I wasn't even, understanding what I'm gonna do, because I'm not familiar with the position. I have no idea what to play here. Yeah, not the best situation to be in, but it is what it is. Have to deal with it. There's nothing much I can say. Like, specifically against this e3 d4 bishop f4 setup, I usually play e6 and then try to play c5. And if here knight c3 is played, which of course is not best, there's bishop b4, there's simple a6, and I'm quite familiar with this position. But I chose, once again, not the most reliable setup. Here c takes d4, I was like, because I'm not familiar with it, right? Like I'm calculating knight b5, queen a5, b4. I'm like, queen b4, c3 takes, knight c7. I'm like, apparently this is good for black. But I was like, I calculated till this point. I was like, all right, whatever. I'm not going for it. Like, what happens? But basically, yeah. Apparently, there's simple c takes d4, e takes d4, like knight b5 doesn't have to be played. And here I could play a6, which I'm actually good with. Let's say bishop d3, knight c6, knight f3, bishop g4, yeah, and played this setup, which is no danger for black pieces. Yeah, that's maybe something for the future, but yeah, apparently knight b5 is not a move. Like queen a5, c3. Apparently this is, yeah, again b4, queen b4, a3. Oh my goodness, what on earth? Knight 8 for real? Now, I'm checking this line right now. I'm just like curious what's happening. Like, there are so many pieces that are hanging. Bishop d7, king d7, queen c1, queen c3 check, king f1, and knight c6, and suddenly black are fine. Alright, it's a bit surprising, but it is what it is, I guess. But alright, I don't want to like dive deep into it, but yeah, apparently there was this line e6, knight b5, knight a6 to prevent a fork, c3, bishop e7, bishop d3, castle. So here I had c4, but I was like calculating this a4, bishop d7. I was like, alright, what? He just, yeah, apparently I didn't see that I had this bishop d7 with this
bishop b5 threat, but I mean it's not right now like a real threat, because let's say I can't take the pawn, right? I have to play knight c7. Yeah, I mean it's more or less kind of equal. I would just be curious what happened after g4. Bishop d6, queen f3. Yeah, it's just like two-way game. It's hard to determine like who has the advantage. But alright, bishop d3, castle, knight f3, and I played knight h5. And after bishop f5, Romka plays the absolute genius move, which I spent so much time calculating. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I spent like maybe 20 minutes at least calculating this line. And I was like, I should not be losing. But I'm a crazy calculator. Crazy calculator. I'm so dumb. I'm telling you, I play f6. And, you know, I spent a lot of time calculating, and he played bishop g3 immediately. And I told him after the game that he had this move, and he was like, oh! And amazing. He actually showed me some calculations afterwards as well, which I'll show you. I spent so much time calculating f6, and it turns out it's just a bad move. And I saw the move that white would have been played to gain advantage. Knight g5. Knight g5, and you cannot imagine what was going through my head. Like knight g5, and I was like, what should I do here? It wasn't played in the game though. It wasn't played in the game, but basically what I calculated was f takes e5, and you know what? It's checkmate in 13 moves. Guys, it's checkmate in 13 moves. I walked into this checkmate myself. Like, I'm telling you, like, after this tournament, I'll be going over and over through different lines. Because, look, I'm getting some absolute... I don't want to say bad words. I don't want to get banned on YouTube. But I'm getting just so bad position right now of the opening. And I was texting on Discord, like, I can't do it anymore. I gotta study the openings, because on this level it matters a lot. I'm telling you, like, to focus on positional play, I know, but look, guys, when you don't get a good position on move 10, like, there is no point in you learning different positions, because you will not get there. Still helpful for your chess, but openings are very important. But yeah, basically white are mating. I was like queen h5, I was calculating bishop g5, and I hope that the game would end something like basically queen g6, king g8, queen h7, and we would have been agreed to a draw. But unfortunately, white don't have to go back and forth, because after bishop g5 they play queen h7, bishop g6. I was like king f6, alright. For some reason I didn't see it. I'm not even sure why, like, and it also says, like, 2 rounds a day is very hard. Like, I gotta be more energetic, and I saw this maneuver, like, with this knight on b5, basically it blocks this crucial d6 square, and it's very important. Like, I saw some games, some reference games, because I'm kind of a London player myself, I play London from time to time, and I have seen this knight g5 maneuvers, and again I got into this trap myself. But basically I'll show you: takes, king e5, queen g7, and basically f4 is coming. This square is blocked, queen f6, f4, takes, king f4, and castle h4, queen h4, queen g5, and queen h3 checkmate. I could have lost the game. And how relieved I was when he played bishop g3. I was like, man, I am so lucky. I was like, he played it immediately. Like, I played f6, he played bishop g3. I was like, oh man, I played g6 and a4. I took takes, and here he showed me an insane line. So I was choosing between rook f7 immediately and just, playing knight c7 right away. And to my surprise, knight c7 is actually losing. That's mind blowing. Like, he he showed me this line after the game. I was confused, like, what's the move here? And I want you to, to find it, because, like, I was truly amazed by this. I was like, there is no way I don't have any defense, but apparently I don't, because here white have bishop g6. I mean, it's crazy, but bishop g6 works. That's probably the most insane sack I've ever seen. Like, you don't really understand when you've seen this for the first time. You can't really understand what's happening. Knight h4 now. What happens is, now you have to protect this g6 pawn. And very unfortunate for black, they can't play queen e8 due to knight c7 fork. And if knight b5 first, there is knight g6 immediately, and queen h5 comes to the action on the very next move. Let's say rook f7. Oh, there's apparently just rook h8. Yeah, I don't even have this move. And if bishop d6, there is wait, if I refresh, basically queen h5 is coming. So it's just horrible. And what happens here is, if I play king g7, there is knight g6, and if king g6, queen h5, king g7, queen h7, checkmate. So, I mean, again, absolute madness on this chessboard. Luckily for myself, rook f7. And he was like, after the game, oh, you played rook f7. I was like, oh, you found all this moves. I was like, oh man, he's actually good. I'm like, I'm terrible. Man, I'm just terrible. Like, look, again, I wanted to offer him draw maybe from move 1. I didn't want to play this game because, look, like, I was absolutely exhausted after the first one that I lost, round number 3. Go check it out again. It was so tough mentally to play this game. And again, all these experiments, going for the line which I never played, allowed knight g5. Luckily for myself, that didn't happen. But if it would happen, I would have lost. And again, it's just like a whole different process. It's absolutely insane. Castle, knight c7, trading this off the board, and after c4, bishop c2, bishop d7. I offered him a draw, and he accepted within like next couple of minutes. And man, I was relieved. We discussed, we had a good chat. But yeah, I just like, we kind of exchanged this, different line thoughts. Insane. Like, I showed him the g5, and yeah, he couldn't believe it was real, and he could have won the game. Yeah, and again, like, coming into this tournament, of course, I mean, I haven't played for 1.5 years, and it's been a tough event so far. I have no idea who I'm playing in round number 5 yet, because I'm recording this basically after I come home, right? And you'll see this recaps like 1 week later after the tournament is already finished and all the results. But yeah, tough event so far. I'm actually not the one who is struggling. Like, the Canadian champion, who is 2450 IM, he is 1.5 out of 4, and I think he has actually withdrawn from the event. He lost in round number 4. So yeah, everyone struggles, and I hope I'm playing someone strong round number 5, hopefully some of them, because I don't want to play down against lower rated opponents, even though there are like not a bunch of them left. Yeah, that's what it is. Not the best start, but at least like I had a couple of bright moments in this tournament, like first win, then of course, like, yeah, I got blown off the board in round number 2. Yeah, very tough. Like, I hope to play more. Canadian Chess Championship is in April, so this one is gonna be huge. So I'll try to be prepared for it. Like, 2 rounds here left tomorrow. So, and you'll see recap number 5 tomorrow, and recap for round number 6 the day after. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the recap of round number 5 tomorrow. Stay tuned. Bye bye.